Alright, this is gun number 4 out of our group, and this is the oddball. This is the M91/28 TS. We can tell because it's different, and the different bayonet mount and the added barrel band. But also this gun, something strange about that. A lot of these that you find have bad bores. Now, after looking at the other guns I got, okay, this one is, the stock is outwardly different. You know, it has a finish on it. That's the way it came, type of a varnish finish. The bolt does not have cosmoline and is not dirty, and there is not really any cosmoline. There's dirt and gunk inside the chamber. So this gun was not stored in cosmoline, which is curious because all the rest of them have been cosmolined. Now I'm going, oh boy, here we go. So 1930s the date on this, and then I looked down the bore and it does not look good. It looks like that hairy, it's not like the others. There's no cosmoline in the bore. Then also I noticed up here on the end of the muzzle, you can see down there's like green and weird stuff and some oxidation around the muzzle area, and that barrel band in there. So these guns were stored differently. They weren't cosmolined. So that may be a problem, but we'll see what we get. Okay, I'm worried the bore is going to be crapola on this one. So let me get it apart and let's see. Yes, there is no rust down in the trigger guard. So this gun is a different model, but it looks like this weapon was stored totally different. It was not cosmolined up. So let's get her apart and look. Alright, not only is this gun a different variation, it's also been stored differently. There is no cosmoline on it. Okay, it all came apart easy, like it's been disassembled already once before. There's some rust down here, which, like I said, that's a sign of being put in long-term storage. But on these parts, it's grungy and dirty, but no cosmoline. Also, along the barrel here, you see that pitting from where it got underneath, but that's been cleaned off. And there's some minor rust in there, but nothing horrible, but no cosmoline. Same with the inside of the receiver and all this other stuff. It's like this gun's been cleaned out, maybe used or something. I don't know. This is weird. It's different. Also, the strange thing is the serial number of the gun is penciled into the upper handguard, which has had some paper kind of put up underneath there to keep it from rattling. The serial number on the stock also matches, and there's a small crack right down in here. The butt plate came off easily. It's like this gun was already disassembled once or something. It's very odd, very strange. Not too terrible in terms of the rust in that. That'll all clean off, but I'm worried about the bore. The bore does not look like it's been cosmolined or stored. And I found other examples of these guns the same way. It's like they weren't cosmolined up and their bores rotted out, probably from condensation. That's why you cosmoline the bore of a rifle. The bolt itself, pretty good. I couldn't get that nut off the back. It's clean. See, there's no cosmoline, no nothing. Firing pins there. So I'm going to clean it up and oil it. And just for now, to save time, not worry about it and come back. And the stock has like a varnish coating on there. So maybe that's what they did to him at one time. I don't know. I don't know where the gun came from. I don't know where it's been since it was pulled out of service with the Italians. So I'll clean it up and we'll take it from there. Okay, number 4 cleaned up well. As we can see, that pitting was there from before. I got most of that light rust off, but It appears to me that this gun was in storage, taken out of storage, put into service, and which makes sense, these are the newer versions, and then put back without being properly stored. Okay, and I think that's when they would have varnished the stocks. So this looks like you got a repeat. And again, it had that long-term storage rust, but in fairly good shape. And the gun did come apart very easily. And it's all matching too. These receiver, stock, upper stock, all of it's matching. There's no serial number on the bolt. And the bolt was very clean. Well, let me throw it back together. I'll give you my final consensus and tell you about the bore. Alright, gun number 4, the 91/28TS. Little curious on this one. There was no cosmoline in here. I don't mean it was clean to check the bore. I said there was no cosmoline inside it anywhere. So, leads me to believe, since you do not know where these guns were or if they were looked at by the importer, distributor, I can say one thing about it, and the bore wasn't cosmolined either. Being the fact that this gun was the newer type, wherever these were stored, maybe people took these out of storage and used them, placed them back in storage, but never cosmolined them. Because if you look at the bore and the corrosion on the end, it was kind of evident. This one's going to have some problems. And, this bullet test stuff, if you got a gun where it fails the bullet test, you should have never bought it in the first place, okay? But I can tell the bore on this, I'm going to rate it as good. Because I can feel with the jag and a tight-fitting patch that it will go in a ways and then start to tighten up. Okay, the bore on this is not that good. It was dirty. There is rifling, but it looks like the muzzle end is worn from either corrosion or whatever, and that muzzle's corroded. So this one probably is not going to shoot well. Okay, and it is, the one with the newest date on there, 1930. Everything else I've been getting is either the 1890s or World War I date, 17, 16. And this one has a questionable bore. So out of all these that I've gotten, I've finally gotten a gun that I would call, because of the bore in that, in good condition. Okay, there is rifling, you can see it, it's dirty. I tried scrubbing it and everything, and it was all black crap coming out of there. We'll have to fire it and see if it burns out some of the stuff in the grooves. It's not pitted though, that I will tell you, it is not pitted, okay? So that is the thing about it. The other, one of the guns I got, the other ones has a little bit of pitting up here by the throat, which is the old primers did that. So we'll see. And like I said, you take your chances. So this is the first one I'm going to say falls down from very good to good out of all the ones that I've received. Which, hey, that ain't bad. Was it 5, 6, 7 rifles all together with all the different companies I've been buying from? That's not too terrible. And they're still a lot better than the carcanos you see people trying to sell that have been in this country a lot longer. So, still a good deal. All right.